Okay, so hello everyone. I hope you guys are fantastic out there, and this is the second session of this series in which we are live right now. So, yeah, basically, this series we have started in order to build a community around live sessions of code and study. So, basically, we will start from where we have left. Some things I have added from here, like when the provider was earlier Hello Grok. Grok was already there, and there was a function which used to, being enforced, which was instantiated, actually not instantiated, which was called from right here, okay, from the main method, which is here in the index.js. So we already had three things: Claude, Gemini, and Grok. I did not do OpenAI because we are not doing anything from it. But the thing is, Gemini and Claude is not working right now. Grok is working because it's a free model. Gemini is also a free model, but for some reason it is not working. I don't know. It is giving me token issues. If you can see here, then it is giving me 429. 429 does mean that there is the server rate is limiting you to prevent abuse of overload, which means that you need paisa money for that. Okay, so we will be starting with chat models today, which is chat models versus tools. So chat models are free-form answers. Tool JSON better for functions, and choose based on okay, so my voice is audible right now. I was just checking it. So tools are basically those things from which you will generate a schema. So whatever schema you need or whatever functions you need for that, it will be customized for you. But chat models are like free form answers. So here is where I have written actually the same thing. So most of the times I will be learning, so I think I'll be quiet, but I will be typing here in itself. It will be better, I think, without writing in here. But it's also a good thing to write in my notes, because from there I get to know a lot. I generally try to go analog. I don't do everything digital. I prefer writing notes in like physical pen and paper mode. So that's what. So let's start without any further ado, and yeah. Okay, so this is what I had written earlier. So chat models, free form answers, tool JSON. Okay, so let me just take a 1 moment break and I'll come back soon. Okay, so let's resume where we have left from. Okay. The chat models. So actually, the chat versus tools, I think you have a pretty clear vision of it. So for the chat models, you send messages and response pretty normal like the chat GPT. So the messages schema is of course a tuple of system and user, and the response is like text. Okay, so I'll be writing down here. So for chat model, the message is like a tuple of system and user, and the response is in the format of text. So this is what he's saying. So what the tool model is doing is model decides to call a function you define with a name plus JSON schema. Models can decide to call a function actually to define name plus JSON schema. So model can decide to call a function with a name plus, of course you know functions by name, right? So that's what the definition of a function is, through its name or ID. I don't know, mostly it is names, right? Select and hello, like that. So the tool models will be like basic things like functions you'll be calling. Actually that other one was not a tuple, it was an array of what we're gonna choose. So web search or db call, something like that, and in the response of course it will come in the format of text plus function call in the format of any JSON or something. So it will be like for tool model it will be like different functions in the format of, assume there is a, oh my god, weather, assume it's a web search, assume it's a db call. There are different types of functions for those things. So the response will be like text plus the function response, mostly JSON object or any object or anything related to code, mostly, which we can parse. And serialize. So choose, you need to choose chat when there is a pure language task like summary, explain, rephrase. Like there is a summary, there is an explain, there is a rephrase, and common JSON answers like summary, confidence, and no extended API browsing files needed. But you need to choose tools tools when the outside information is needed, like searching and fetching the URL. Model chooses tools in order to execute. Tools and order of execution, of course, and the model chooses the tool. So plan, tool, observe, and decide loop is acceptable. That's it. I hope this will make things clear. So when we're going to use chat models and where we are going to use the tools. Yeah, you must be hearing a lot of fan noise, but it is actually not fan. My fan is already turned off. It is actually the laptop sound. It is a very old laptop, so it is making sound. But I hope you're able to listen to my voice. So we have to bear with that. So next thing is Zord schemas as contracts. So Zord is a library that defines expected shape or schema. A very slow typer. So if it is it makes the schema same. Same schema for every runtime, plus of course the TypeScript that we are writing right now. So the next thing, the last but not the least, there is a trust, but we need to of course verify model output. Yeah, so these are the three things that Zord does for us. Zord defines the expected shape and schema. It doesn't happen to break on the runtime, and it is pretty type safe, and we trust and verify with these models. So yeah. This is to verify the model output. Even if it trusts the response, it lets you to define a schema. So if you need the answer in the type of string, so it will give you in the type of string. It will verify that it is type of string, otherwise it will give the verification error. These are actually semantic and syntactic errors. Zord is one source of truth. So if you see Zord, then what it does is we need to ask why we need Zord, right? So actually it describes the shape of data at runtime, guarantees CLI returns of summary, confidence, assume that's an object in the right shape. And with structure output, guide model and auto pass as well as it validates. So the key benefits of this is that Jod will ensure that if you need summary and confidence as a property, then it will make them summary as a string. Of course, you need it as a string, and confidence is like a number, I assume. So yeah, let me write it so that I don't forget it myself. So if you see that how do we make Zod work, then it's probably like this. So you have to do assume a npm install, of course, or npm install Zod, whatever it is. Now you need to import the packages. Of course, you need to import the packages like this. Import z. Z is the object instantiation from Jod, which is available in the library. It is already done from this library. So you need to write a function like JSON response status is equal to z.object, which will verify. So this z.object, inside this function we will verify the object. So if the summary is like z.string, so this is a type of verification that we are doing. So this is actually a short plain English answer. So and for the confidence, it is of course a number. So we will write it like this. This is between, it can be any number, like a number actually is like this float as well. So it can be float, it can be a number, it can be a float, it can be an integer, for example 0 to 1 to or 131, it's like that. So yeah, so what you are gonna do next is, after that you're gonna export this type. So how do you gonna export this type? JSON response status is equal to z dot, you need to infer this with type of JSON response status. So this is how you're gonna get the type. Schema. Yeah, okay. Anyways, this is also something that will work. Type of JSON. So this is what you're gonna, how you're gonna infer. So this is what. You can also put email for email type of validation, and there are different types of z dot functions within this. So we will now understand about the structured outputs. Give me a second, guys. So actually I'm pretty new to all this in terms of how to stream and all. So let me check this how it is turning out. It is turning out to be pretty well. Yeah. So okay. Okay, so the structured outputs is the next section, guys. Structured outputs. So ask model to fill schema, not guess the format. You need to handle it over to the model to fill the schema and not guess what is going to be the output. Of course, from your end you are not going to do it. So if this is the structured output, then we need to first, this is the first point actually, ask model to fill schema, not guess format. And the next thing is provider features help. Now the JSON mode tool calling. Third and last is more reliable than please respond in JSON. This is more reliable because assume before the JSON it gives a prefix that here is your JSON response, so it breaks during parse. So ask model to fill schema, not guess the format. This is in the hands of the model. So provide features help like JSON model tool calling, whatever the tool is, more reliable than please respond in JSON. So this is the three things that is written here. These models are actually pretty notorious. So this model is going to give you answer back in JSON, but maybe string style JSON format with /ns, /n, I guess. Yeah. Model is now forced to output the validation. In here we're gonna know about something called with structure output. So let's write it here with structured output here. The final goal here will be that we're gonna tell the model what shape and size, of course not size, what shape we want it, and we're gonna combine this with the sort validation for more safety. So this comes first, and then it's followed by sort validation. schema. Structured output mode. So this is gonna give you a predictable JSON. The data format that we actually need. From here we got to know that what are tokens, what are context windows, where we're going to use chat model versus when we're going to use the tools and everything. So yeah, so next one will be, of course, what are we building next. So this new project will be having a front end as well. So earlier, this particular project that we are doing, Hello Agent, right now, when we do an npm run dev, this actually takes from Gemini at the moment, so it will give an error. But if you see it, if we change this with Grok, so if you change this with Grok, then you will see that if I do an npm run dev right now, so it will give me a message in the format of OK provider model message. So if you see here, I already have a hello output called OK, which is a boolean provider model and message. So how do I get my answer back from hello Gemini, hello Grok? Yeah, so here I'll be getting a true Grok model and string. So this is a true Grok, this is the model, and this is the string that I'm getting back from the Llama 3.18p minus instant model. Okay, so this is all about it. From Grok we are getting the response, and for others we need to set it up, set up the API with some tokens. With no, the tokens are already there. We need to fill some dollars to the tokens, but we have not tested, so we have only tested the Llama. So this is all about this project. So what we will do is we'll check the status. Okay, we have changed something. What we have changed here is, okay, this message. Okay, we will do a git data src, git commit, some important notes in comments. So if we now do a git status, now you will understand that okay, nothing to commit now. So if I do something called git push, so it will say git remote add you do first and then push using this. So we'll be doing the same. So git will go into GitHub. So pretty interesting. It has changed its homepage. Earlier it was a world. So yeah, so you have already logged in, enable 2FA, remind me tomorrow, not now. Although I should have done that because I'm streaming, anyone can take it from me, but I don't care. I'm a very reckless person or a developer. So yeah, so if you see the repository, we will be creating a new repository here, and then we'll be naming it I do AI hello agent. So yeah, this is a basic application that respond back with a hello world in Java, which is hard coded when you run it. हाँ बा Okay. So yeah, it already says that you do this and do that, do this and that. So what we will be doing is we will be doing this instead. Paste. So git remote add origin here. We will do a git remote. So fetch and push is going to this. Correct. So git push u origin main. So where we are right now, git branch. So we are in master. Git push u origin main. So doesn't okay. So git branch and main. So yeah, paste. So if you do now a git branch, so we'll be getting a main here. So git push u origin main. So it already pushed it here. So we will clear it and we will get our project here if we refresh it. So it's already the I do hello agent, we already have it here. So if we do the git status, the branch is clean, so we can close it and then we can open another one from here. The project's hello agent is done. So we are going to do an hello agent again, I think with front end. So in this project we are going to ask any query whatever we are using, OpenAI, Llama, whatever, Grok, it will gonna give you us the result in a certain format. So we are gonna get a summary and we are gonna get a confidence score. Confidence score will be from 0 to 1 and the summary will be a short summary like 2 lines. So it will be keep on appending on the front end. Okay. So this is the first time that we are going to set up our Next.js UI. So we will keep a starter code which we will use entirely in different projects, so we don't repeat the same thing. Hello agent structured UI. So this is a decent project when you are asking questions. So in the first project, whatever we did, we just can take from there whatever is present. So I'll need to actually blank my screen in order to take all the variables. Already you have seen the variables, but anyways, from the env. Okay, so it's almost finished, guys. I need to set it up as well, right? All the variables and everything from the env.ts. So I'm also taking that because env is also going to work there. So there will be an src file inside that. There will be env.ts. So yeah. So okay. So .env is not installed, but the code is already there, so that is why it is giving this. So we'll be using the stream structure. That is why I kept it like this. We already had that same starter code that we'll be adding. Keep on. So what we are gonna do is we're gonna paste it here. ओ भाई दिख गया, कोई बात नहीं. Okay. For UI, we will set up a Next.js project which will become a startup code for the front end. The other one was a starter code for UI. Mostly I'll be using Grok only because it is available for me. So installing Express and Cors is pretty important. So we have installed two packages, Express and Cors. We will also .env as well. Along with types, I should install them. But yeah, as it installed, it gulped it down. So yeah, we are not getting this error anymore. So we are getting your, so based on that we will I think this is the thing that we need to write. So the backend will be Express and Next.js will be covered for the front end. Creating a new project is very simple in Next.js. Name of the web will be UI. We'll do yes to everything. You just run npx script which installs and run create. Okay. create next app the latest. These are the things that we are downloading for the UI in Next.js. Hey. What happened to this? So it is still installing. If I wasn't streaming, I think it would have taken a very less amount of time. So yeah, we need to wait because we are streaming, guys. Yeah, it found 0 vulnerabilities. 142 packages are looking for funding. Generating root types. Type generated successfully. Initiated a Git repository. The Git repository is already initiated for the front end. So we also need a component library for this. So we will be downloading SATCN for this, guys. So it's a component library. Of course, everybody knows about SATCN. Who doesn't? So this is the thing that is running right now. And oh, I just closed that npm. Anyways, I'll open it again. You have to have a lot of patience when you are developing something like this. So when we are learning something like this, you have to have a lot of patience. Sorry, not developing. Okay, so this is the one. If you go to terminal, you close the ports, open this instead, close it. Okay, so hello agent structured with UI. Actually, this is the thing. So ls UI. So you do cd UI clear. So here we can okay. So whatever components we want, we will install those components in the UI. So we'll go straight to the docs and we'll see if anything has changed, because in SATCN most of the things changes while downloading, while installing it actually. So yeah, this is the place. Get started. Docs, Next.js. Oops, what happened? Yep. Forward neutral. It is gonna update the CSS variables in global, writing components.json. Base color is neutral, validating import aliases, yes, found the version 4 of relevant CSS, verification of the framework found. Next.js. The SATCN is finding this. So the pre-flight checks are happening. So it is also updating the file. So my global.css will look something different after that. This is the backend. If you see the UI, I'll get a component.json. Where is the global.css map? Global.css. This will be changed as well. Let's see, we're gonna install a button now. So in order to install this button, we need to click on this and then we need to paste this right here. So we are on UI, we'll add this button, and where it will reflect I'll show you pretty shortly. So when I am adding a button on here, if you see this app, inside this app there is a lib utils, not utils, no, not this. Inside the app there is something called components, so we got this button right here. So this is the code of the button. You can change it from here and you can make it your own component library. Modifications you can do by your own. This is a CLI style of installing. So let's till that time I was not aware that I was not sharing your screen. This is the problem, guys. When you stream for like in the initial days, you will have to face this problem anyways. So these are the things that we did earlier. npm add button, we initiated satcn, we did an lsla, and we did an npm run dev because we needed to run the project. So this is all we have installed. satcn is installed in this project of Next application. There is a component, of course the UI part and backend part is different. Backend has environment variables, we need to set up the backend, but the UI part has satcn library, and that's all. And yeah, we did some pre-flight checks. While doing that, app.global changed, and whatever I commented, those things happened. So it already added a button. This is the button. You can change it from here, whatever you want from here. This is the component folder, blocks folder, button folder, and this is the button folder component. So if you want to install any other components from here, then you need to just install it. As you need to install this, so the installation will be like this. So this is going to run our local server right now pretty quick. So if you click on here, you can see that you're going to see some content. To get started, edit and page.tsx, looking for a starting point or more instructions, head over templates and learning center. I think I should check how I'm streaming right now. Pretty nice, but only one caveat is you are probably listening to this annoying fan noise, but I can't do anything. Okay. So the page.txt inside this will have all the details. Div. So if you see, we can make this div centered. So how do we do that? We already have tailwind CSS, so we can do it with the help of class name. So we'll keep it a flex. We'll give it a minimum height of screen, whatever the screen height is. So we'll give item center. Whatever items is inside it will be in the center. We will justify all the contents in justify item center, justify content center, sorry. justify item content, justify center only. Okay, everything will be on the centered. BZ zinc 50. Font sans. I think this is pretty much it. For if you want anything, button. You need to first import button from component where library, and you can add the button like just like this. Pretty basic. So if you add this button here, I think the button is closable, so the button needs to close as well. So it will be like this. It's a pretty fast check, quick check, quick check. So let's check it quick. Yeah, this is the button that you are having right now. This button is actually not having, okay, the variant. We can't add this, or can we? If we keep it destructive, this variant, it will become red or something like that. So these are the different variants. It's just like that. So these are actually the default styling which will be handled by the start chain. And on top of that, if you want, let's see. Okay, so on top of this, if I want to change on hover a pointer within this component prof, can I do it for me in 1 to 2 lines? The same when I hover, I get a pointer. So instead of this variant, I'll add a pointer. Okay, class name destructive, class name. Okay, you can also add a class name here within cursor pointer. Let's go for it. If it works, then it's amazing. So you can also add CSS properties from these props of class name into a button, like which is coming from components UI button. So if I do this in a basic button which is coming from DOM, I mean HTML button, which will it will also work. So I'll show you this pretty quick. So class name is cursor pointer. So this will also work. This also works. I think this also works. Okay, this also works. See? Class name BG color. Let's see. Yeah, this also works. This is also a button actually. I just saw that. Okay. So this is the skeleton that we have created already. For the next video, we will be using these things only. Creating Zord schemas. So TS JSON config is needed, so of course we have to install it right away. So we'll take those configs from here. Package.json, we'll be using this. Hello agent. So backend thing, package.json, dependency scores.env express. So we'll do an npm i express and course. We already have a dependency called .env. So yeah, so we'll also be having this tsconfig. So yeah, tsconfig.json, is it? Yeah, tsconfig.json, new file .json. So this will be our point. And then we have a readme here, we have a provider, src, we have node models, we have, okay, we need to install it first. We already had installed it, but we will just verify it again. So yeah, 0 vulnerabilities, and in the src we are having env file. So if we try to run, we will understand. Index.ts will run function main agent base. So I think when we do an npm run dev, I think we'll be able to run it because we have already set the script of ts watch src index.ts. So run a dev. So yeah, it watches and it does not, okay, it does not do because we have not called it. So if you see this hello agent base, it is running in the terminal. Yes, so if I change based, it changes like this because it is watching live. If you see this tsx watch src index.ts, exit on. Anyways, error no test specified. Let's do this also. npm run test error no test specified. It will echo this. See, error no test specified, this. So error no test specified, this will be echoed right now. So we will structure our actual output in here in the particular format. So if you see our backend here, package.json, we already have express cars and .env. Start with the implementation. Let's create a schema file. Schema.ts export. We're gonna do export const ask a result schema. We already had Zod, we already talked about it, so we'll use that. How do we? Zod. I hope Zod is a. So I hope Zod is something which already have native support for TS. Let's see. npm. We will go to npm registry. We will check that Zod has native support or not. Otherwise, we need to download the types first. TS. Yes, it has the native support, so we don't need to download types for Zod. Okay. So we need to import this particular thing from Zod. Last result schema will be like the same which we wrote there. confidence measure of number. This will be the simple summary that we are doing, summary and confidence JSON object. So we will take a short paragraph. Confidence will be from 0 to 1. Short summary. Okay, yeah. Dot min. Thinking this and this. So ask result schema, type of ask result schema, correct. So we can take this type, the dot infer, and infer this, and we will ask result schema. So this is the schema. So you need to create a structure output so that your model will understand. This you need to create a structured output so that your model will understand what I need to give in response. Yeah. Pretty clear. So we have already created the schemas, so we'll move on to implementing OpenAI, Gemini or Grok models within them. So the schemas are created with Z object and Z infer, and now it's time to get going and implementing OpenAI, Gemini and Grok models. So we are doing these three because in future if I add some dollars to this API key, then it will work. OpenAI, Gemini and Grok. So we will do for Claude later, but for these three we will do, and for the Grok we can test currently because it is using the Llama model and it is free to use, thankfully. Agnostic provider chat model we'll be creating right now. So language provider agnostic chat model actually basically. So if you change something on the env, it will reflect it on this functions. So this will be our provider agnostic chat function. This is the hello output actually basically. So for this time we are going to use something from LangChain. Okay, so the introduction of LangChain has happened, guys. So in this time, in order to have acceptance for agnostic providers, we are trying to have something from LangChain. So it is saying like that. See, we can't I can't show you what I'm learning right now because it is a paid course from Udemy, which everybody knows of mostly, I guess. And I think I should credit Sangan Mukherjee for this. Credits where it's due, and he is actually teaching it like like whatever is needed in this era. He's teaching it right up front. So go check his Udemy course. I think till now it's decent, really amazing. Like I'm able to understand what are like they are from the ground up. So I don't know where it's gonna end, but it is actually getting into my head. It is okay. It's a good course. So if you go to the LangChain docs, he's saying for the LangChain docs, right? LangChain docs. So yeah, docs.langchain, overview documentation, association TypeScript, integration package, from LangChain docs. LangChain integration packages. LangChain offers an extensive ecosystem with 1000 integrations across chats and embedding models, tools, toolkits, document loaders, vector stores. A provider that is a third-party service or platform that LangChain integrates with to access AI capabilities like chat models, embeddings, and vector stores. These providers have a standalone LangChain provider package for improved versioning and dependencies management and testing. So these are well tested and battle tested things. We'll be using the latest version. Yeah, these are the things. Grok, Olama, everything. These are the popular providers. Okay. These are the schemas for the LangChain thingy. Invoking them. LangChain mod. Pip install. But what if I wanted in vertex A? No. Okay. There is no npm in it. Okay. So Google npm. So if you see integration provider across JavaScript, OS is Python here. I need to do JavaScript. Oh, this development brain. npm install LangChain Google GenAI LangChain core. So this is what is required. LangChain /grok. Let's do for grok first. npm install langchain / grok. So you need to do npm install langchain / grok first. Pretty basic. At the rate langchain / groks. So here is the thing. So npm install at the rate langchain / grok. So 0 vulnerabilities, 35 packages added. Packages are looking for funding. Run npm fund. What does it actually mean? Let's check. 35 packages are actually looking for funding. Not here. Not this one. Yeah. Copy. Not that, this above. 35 are looking for funding means when you install npm packages, many open source developers rely on donations to maintain their free softwares. So breakdown is 35 packages. The packages you need to install are looking for funding. Their developers are asking for financial support. Okay. One day we'll do it. One day. So another thing that we need to install is npm I at the langchain / Google Gemini. This is, I think, the thing. Okay, this is for chat models. This is for grok. This is for Google Gemini. Google Gen AI. Yeah. So this as well as this. These are the two things. Now we can take this URL. We can write this URL actually. Integrations. Langchain / integrations. Okay, so it is inside the docs dot langchain.com and we go to OSS, JavaScript, integrations. See, these URL might change in future, but at least you will have a reference, and what better to have a reference in your node copy so that it will be more intriguing to check this URL. 36 packages are looking for funding. So these two are done. Okay, so export type is no, provider, which is like OpenAI or Gemini or the Grok, which is working right now for us. So I think the other one is also present. So let's download this as well. Anthropic. In case. We want. So let's put Anthropic here as well. Anthropic. Because why not? So export function for the index.js creates for now this is wrong. This is completely wrong. The model is any. So currently I think, let me check, my provider is Grok, which is okay. We'll do it for Gemini first, even if we will not get the response. Const course is equal to process.env provider. The provider is present, which means okay, this is not that provider, is it? Let me check. Yeah, it is the same provider. Provider is present, so is taking the values from here. If you are saving it, it will go to the next section. So this is the value, got two lower cases, so you will get the first value, whatever the value will be. Const, it has OpenAI, maybe a boolean. Has OpenAI, has Gemini and all these things. Const I need to go there. Grok API key, Google Gemini API key. Google Gemini API key. Second thing is const has Grok process.env dot Grok API key, as well as const has Anthropic process.env dot, I need to check again, Anthropic API key. So this one. So we have OpenAI API key, which does not have Anthropic. It has three things: has. So you can check from here as well. Let's see if OpenAI is there. No, it's not there. Good. Base. Forced is equals to OpenAI, and if not equals to forced, and if OpenAI is the provider and it has the key. Forced. So it's the provider and it has the key. But if you have the key, then we're gonna return something. If you see the OpenAI, then chat. Okay. So the model will be chat OpenAI from LangChain OpenAI. Okay. So we also need to import for OpenAI, which is what we are doing right now for Grok. It has the support. So import chat OpenAI from @langchain/OpenAI. Okay. We already have downloaded Lang. I see. Yes, this was only the remaining thing. We already needed to install. Okay, there are 4 things right now. Anthropic, OpenAI, Grok, and of course Gemini. Only Grok is working as OpenAI. So GenAI also done. npmi @langchain/OpenAI and npm install what I did here. Anthropic @langchain/Anthropic, all done. Only Grok working as of now. Okay, so the LLM model is new chat OpenAI. Model GPT-4o mini. Temperature 0, So if you see correctly, then the temperature is inside here 0. So temperature 0 as a const. So to stick like that inside it. So it is just spreading this inside here. Launching support for TypeScript. This is the base. Okay. It's the same thing for Gemini as well. So if this is actually the wrong way to write anything every single time. So first we will improve the code later. So as Gemini is here. Okay. So if this or this, if force is equal to this, or have Gemini. So if force is this, so what is the force? The provider which we have given. Not okay. Force is present and has Gemini. Okay. Equals to. Okay, so Gemini force is present and has open Gemini. This is present, right? Yeah. So we're gonna return something in the provider. Gemini. And in the model we're going to provide something called new chat Google generative AI. Yeah. Gemini 2.0 flashlight is a free to use, what from my knowledge, but okay, anyways, if the base is already present here, so this is the temperature 0. So I think temperature 0 is already present in not in Anthropic, Google Vertex, Grok, Google Gemini. So the temperature is 0. So this is what, yeah, correct. So earlier what we learned about temperature was the temperature is something which sets how many what is the stability and creativity range. So we are not doing any creative things right here. We will only get what is required and what is stable. So this is a function actually which we can return a chat OpenAI, whatever is the object. Yeah, okay. If this is Grok, or force is present, okay, and has Grok. Where is the force actually? Provider is present, okay, but it has the key. So if we will is it going to call everything? Force is present and it has Gemini. It's gonna return everything every time. If the force is okay, this is not it, so we need Grok. So if force is OpenAI and then it is not Grok, but again force has OpenAI. Of course it has an OpenAI thing and force is already present. I mean, okay. So we're gonna return something if this happens. So of course the model is new chat Grok. So if this is the thing, then we need to search for Grok as well. Integrations chat. There is another doc from which we can write returns. So it's like http docs/langchain/com OSS JavaScript, of course, and then integrations we are doing chat. Cool. So yeah, so we are here. So but let's see what is there in Grok. So the model is this llama, whatever we had earlier. So where is that model? I think it's here in the providers, whatever the llama model which we set, it would be here only. Yeah, inside here. So this is the model and then was the provider, right? Provider and model. So if model is there, then base should also be there. So this closes that. Nope. Okay, this closes it. Open Grok, instant llama. Yeah. Spread operator. Chat Grok. We have taken it from Chat Grok only. This is the provider model. Let's keep for the default case. For default case, let's return this Grok. Let's do LC model.ts. This is a basic thing, like the VPA keys are present. Based on that, we are returning two things. First, we are returning a provider and then a model. Temperature is of course certain as base, so model which you want to use. We can use any other models as well here. We can use any other model here, but these are like base models, so we can test it. Most of the model part is done, so let's move on to index.ts or Keras logic basically. We'll do the Keras logic in the third session, guys. I'll take a small break. Let's see what we have built.